All right, welcome. Hi, everyone. I am Suzi Lula, and this is Jamie Lula, and we are here for the Undefended Heart, a free masterclass to dive into the art of living and loving with an open heart, with an undefended heart, with an unarmored heart, an unprotected heart. So we welcome you, and as everyone is gathering, you may want to just become still, become aware of your breath, everything for any one of you who has done any of my courses. I always start with a centering and an intention setting. And then I guess we'll introduce ourselves so you can then know that you're a singer. So I am Suzi Lula. I am a spiritual therapist. I've been a spiritual therapist for over 20 years. I have a full-time private practice. And I also teach a lot of online classes like this. It's one of my favorite things to do. And I just love working with individuals and in groups to assist us all to dive in deeper and to create more inner peace and live more awakened lives. And then this is Jamie.
I'm Jamie Lula, and I'm a singer-songwriter, but many years ago, 25 years ago, I made the leap from 22 actually, well, whatever it is. I made the leap to create more conscious music, life-affirming music, uplifting music. I used to sing in clubs and bars and a lot of venues like that. I've been singing in a lot of spiritual communities all over the world over the last 25 years. And it's just with the idea of wanting to share conscious music, heart-opening music, thought-provoking music that feeds the soul, uplifts the spirit, and keeps the heart
amazing.
open.
And he's amazing. So that's what we're going to start this evening is let's all just become still. I will center us, and then Jamie will set the tone for us. So just relax. If it feels right to you to close your eyes, please do. Don't feel obligated. If you want to place your hand on your heart as a way of connecting to your own self, your own intention, just gently become still. Become aware of your breath, recognizing that right where you are, there is a presence of love, an energy of love that is surrounding you and surrounding us all together. And so we're just gently allowing our mind to rest, and we're allowing our heart to open. So as we just gently allow our heart to open, I'm so grateful to know that each one of us here is called here by a divine intention within you. So there is an intention to take a relationship class to deepen your own inner relationship and to deepen and feel more connected to relationships in your outer world. And so just knowing that each one of us receives here exactly what it is that we've come here for. And we set this tone within our own heart now to become open, to become available, and to become receptive so that we can hear that which is meant for us. So you just open your mind, open your heart, open your inner ear to receive that which is here and meant for you. Then we'll just let Jamie set this tone with music. Allow yourself to sing this to yourself.
As we step out of where we've come from, walking tall in who we've become, being seen for all that we are is just one part of our love. I see you and you see me. We welcome each other to our destiny. All that we're here to express, nothing less. We're here to share our brilliance. I am your safe place to land. You are my safe space to land. We've made a great place to dance. I am your safe place to land. You are my safe space to land. We've made a great place to dance. Safe place to land. I'll be your safe place to land. As we walk through our new garden that we came here to cultivate, out of seeds that we planted long ago, through the winds of change and fate. I see you and you see me. We welcome each other to our destiny. All that we're here to express and nothing less. We're here to share our brilliance. I am your safe place to land. You are my safe space to land. We've made a great place to dance. I am your safe place to land. You are my safe space to land. We've made a great place to dance. Safe place to land. I am your safe place to land. Safe place to land. I am your safe place to land. So we're grateful for all that we've been through, 'cause it brought us to where we are. And we wouldn't have wanted something else to replace this loving heart. I am you and you are me. We thank you, God, for all that we are here to be. All that we're here to express and nothing less. We dedicate and you bless. I am your safe place to live. You are my safe place to live. We made a great place to dance. I am your safe place to live. You are my safe space to live. We've made a great place to dance. Safe place to land. I am your safe place to land. Safe place to land. I'll be your safe place to land.
So we just all set that as our intention together, that we each become our own safe space to land. So my heart becomes a safe space for all of me to land. And each one of you set that intention that you become your own safe space to land. And then just ask if there is another intention for you around relationship. It could be relationship within yourself. It could be relationship with someone in your life that you're having a particular challenge with. Could be an intention around relationship in general, calling a relationship into your life, deepening in a relationship, creating more intimacy, more connection. So just take that moment. It's very important as we are going to be sharing about relationship in general, our relationship specifically. We want you to be able to apply this to your own life so that you leave here really changed, you leave here really transformed, you leave here having gathered some tools, gathered something that is meaningful to you, that means something to you in your world. So just begin to set your own intention. If you want to write it in the chat box, it's amazing to see how similar most of our relationships truly are, or our intentions around relationships, because most of us at the end of the day, we are wanting to feel seen, to feel heard, to feel that we matter, to feel that we're important, to feel that we're valuable. So please feel free to write it in the chat box. There's so much to be said about relationship, and that's why we're doing this as a 6-week course. starting next week. But tonight, there's, I think, one main thing that we'd love for you guys to really take away. What we have found in relationship is that culture teaches us such a fantasy around relationships. It teaches us that relationships are supposed to be, right, exactly. Just like all light, you're supposed to be chanting and oming, and all light, no darkness. So I know for myself, when we got together, being someone myself who's been very immersed on a spiritual path, I definitely had been fed that fantasy. And when we had challenges, I would compare myself and think, oh, so-and-so must not have those challenges, or so I must be the only one. So I think what we really want to share this evening is that we're interested in spiritual relationships, conscious relationships. And that's very different than a cultural relationship. A conscious relationship is a relationship where you use everything that comes up for your own growth. So there's a lot of emphasis, even though we've been together for 20 years, there's a lot of emphasis on my own path and your own path. I mean, my whole relationship mantra is just clean up my own side of the street. So just breathe that in for a minute as we go. Obviously, all relationships are a dance. And sometimes we're dancing, sometimes we're stepping on each other's toes, let's just say that. So a healthy relationship is a relationship, all relationships have a certain ratio of, we're talking light, dark. All relationships have a ratio. We'll call the dark, we'll call it the shadow side. We'll call it something that is unhealed within you. So every one of us brings into our relationships that which is unhealed yet. That's judgment, blame, shame, things from our past, toxicity from our past that we haven't healed yet, trauma that we haven't healed yet. And we bring all of that into our relationships. Every one of us does that to differing degrees. That is the dark. That is the messy. That can get messy, right? So the ratio of that dark to the quality of the light, and I would call the light the healthier qualities, the spiritual qualities, the qualities of well-being, like gratitude, acknowledgements, appreciations, conscious conversations, forgiveness, amends, reparations, making repairs. That ratio, depending on the ratio, is going to result in a relationship that's fraught with a lot of density or darkness or messiness, or a relationship that can withstand the messiness and the darkness because it's part of a relationship. So it's not that you will not bring messiness into your relationship. Every one of us has messiness. Every one of us will bring that messiness into the relationship. The differentiation is how able am I to work with my own messiness, and how able are you to work with your own unhealed material, so that rather than playing it out between each other, we learn to clean up our own side of the street. So you want to share to that?
I just wanted to say that if you want to check the chat.
Yeah, I would.
What comes forward for me in this context is the idea that we created this workshop not based on some enlightened relationship, because, like Sue said, that we have both shadow and light within our relationship, but we've been together for over 22 years, and we've learned ways of being with it. And quite honestly, in my past relationships, I don't know about yours, I don't think you were like this, but in my past relationship, if it started getting to that point of disagreement, within a relationship where I no longer felt like we were a resident. It was like I was out of there. I just left. I didn't have the tools to maintain the relationship and to be in relationship as a result of um, just growing up in a family where I didn't talk. I had parents that, a father who was alcoholic and a mother who was kind of passive aggressive, and dinner time was like slamming cupboards because she was pissed because my dad would just like, what's for dinner? She'd get home from work, and there was tension and there was never any discussion, and they didn't work through it. They just like ignored it. And we've not been that. We've had tremendous conversations about a lot of things, and we're still working on it. We're still working on those conversations. So it's not based on like we're some enlightened couple. It's like, this is our work too. This is my work. This is Suzi's work. This is our continual work. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think, that's what we are offering. It does so happen that both of us, we each went to the University of Santa Monica. We have masters in spiritual psychology. So it is true that we also have a lot of tools to offer.
Yes.
But our biggest tool is our daily practice with each other. So anything that we're sharing with you in this class, and for certain the next 6 classes, as we really dive deeper into creating more intimacy within ourselves, connection within ourselves, healing some of the places that get in the way of relationships, that is all, our daily work as well, for sure.
Yeah.
So I wanted to open, I'm seeing there's great already intentions in the chat. And so I wanted to ask for you all who are here live, and for any of you who are watching the replay, just write in your journal, right? Take a relationship that you'd like to work on for the rest of this class. Could be with yourself, could be a relationship that's challenging, something that you really want to grapple with and get something out of this class, and then perhaps do the next 6 classes. And just on a scale of 1 to 10 in the chat box, write 1 being you're having a lot of challenge, like you're very challenged, 10 being you're pretty blissed out. And just give, but I'm kind of asking to use a relationship that perhaps you're challenged with, so that you really can have something to in this class to really grapple with and take with you. So just give, I just want to get an idea of where everyone is. So good. So there's a 3, there's 1, excellent. Jealousy, 4, 5, 4, 5, 7, 7. Excellent, excellent. So everywhere from 4, 5, 7, 5, 5, 5, 8. Excellent. 10, bliss. 5, 6, 5. Excellent. So this is another thing we want. Keep going, keep going. This is another thing we really want you to hear, right? We're, like Jamie said, we're not some enlightened couple. We each came from, I'll say, extremely dysfunctional families. So the relationship that we have is built on our own healing work. So we feel very confident to say, if we can create a really great relationship, anybody can. I mean, I'm going to take the caveat out, and I hope that it's a given in this course. We're not talking about an abusive relationship. We're talking about relationships where there is work to be done. So we're seeing everything basically 4, 5, 6. And by the end of this Undefended Heart course, I mean, I want all of us to be 8, 9, 10s. And again, not because there's nothing to grapple with in the relationship, because we've hopefully provided the tools to be able to bring energy into your relationship that will move you on your own trajectory from 4, 5, 6 upward. Okay, so it doesn't matter what number you're at. It just matters that whatever number you are willing to move. Now, one more question before we go back. This is a really important question when you're talking about intimacy and real connected relationship. What would you say if you had to only choose one unhealed quality within you? What is the biggest unhealed quality that you are aware of that you bring into your relationships, even a relationship with yourself? So is that a clear question? The one quality, the one unhealed area, that which you are aware of, that you bring into the relationship that gets in your own way. It's very important if you're wanting to move your meter up. It's very important that you have clarity without judgment, just clarity. Yeah, well, that's what we all have, right?
Yeah. Judgment of self, judgment of one another.
Yes, if you have judgment of another, you definitely have judgment of yourself. So that's right. Judgment, feeling valued, passive aggressive, loneliness, issues with my family, lack of boundaries, judgment. I'm going to slow these down. Feeling damaged, responsibility, judgment, hurt, jealousy, feeling valued, having to do what is right versus what is authentic. Very, very good. We're going to talk a lot about authenticity in the course. Mistrust, overcoming race-conscious thoughts about men and women and old paradigms of behavior. Yeah, that's a big, in creating intimacy, to let go of those old conditionings. I can't make mistakes. Excellent. Alone, not feeling good enough. Lack of compassion, communication, anger. Okay, so let's all take a minute. Please keep writing, if you're watching the replay. And if you watch this again, please watch it again. Now let's take a moment with that. Let's take a moment and just sit with that which came up for you. From anger to judgments to hurts, not feeling good enough, feeling damaged, feeling jealous, having mistrust. And just be present with what is within you and recognize. So, of course, if I am feeling not good enough, which is probably my deep one, not good enough, feeling like I'm a burden.
Shame.
Jamie's saying shame. So if that is living within me sometimes, and within Jamie sometimes, and within each one of you sometimes, then we know that we're going to bring it into our relationship. So that's a given. So just stay with your eyes closed for a moment and just recognize, without any judgment on yourself, just recognize this is something that lives within you, that we are all on a process of healing, and that the more we heal it within ourselves, the more enriched our relationship will then become. So set your own intention around this unhealed place within you, and just ask. You might not get an answer, and that's perfectly fine. Part of the skill and the tools are simply asking the question. If you ask the question enough times, you will start to get answers. So just connect with this place inside and ask, what does that very place need from you in order to heal? What does that very unhealed place inside of you need from you in order to heal? And simply listen. And then whenever you're ready, gently open your eyes, and please write in the chat box or in your journal if you're watching the replay. Write in the chat box, what is it that place inside of you is asking for from you to begin the healing process to then show up differently in your relationship. And as you're writing, to the best of your ability, I want you to feel in your own heart a tremendous amount of compassion. What I feel right now for all of us is a tremendous amount of compassion. Just think about what's going on planet Earth right now with the, Black Lives Matter, anti-racism, racism. There's so much hurt. There's so much anger. There's so much unresolved feelings, so many unresolved wounds, unhealed wounds. And we bring them into our relationships. So what we need is compassion for ourselves. So when I feel not good enough, or when I know that he's feeling shame, we need compassion, right? So I'm going to read some of these. Hang on, let me get to them. Not feeling good enough, lack of compassion, belief of not enough love, resentment. Okay, so here comes what is being called for from within. Allowing my feminine energy to rise. I was brought up in a very masculine way of being, and learning to trust my heart. Feeling worthless and not good enough. Feeling like I am too much. As a woman, I do not exist in the relationship to the degree that I love the other. I disappear. And there seems to be nothing that I can do about this. This is how it was with all women in my family. Sarah is saying inside, that place is asking to be seen, heard, and believed. That's really deep, the believed part. Acceptance, to be valued, have my feelings validated. Having patience and compassion. Acceptance of myself authentically. Beautiful. My wound screams to have me love and accept myself, whether I'm actually damaged or not. I love that she's saying that my wound screams, because that's the ultimate benevolence of this universe. It's just not going to be quiet until we get it. So the fact that your wound is screaming is of great value to you. Compassion and empathy. Hang on. To be cherished regardless of the situation. That my life won't come crashing down over a mistake. Trust, belief in myself, self-acceptance. To be shown empathy. Wanting so much to feel oneness and deep, deep connection and agreement. I need to feel valued. Okay, so let's take a moment, as everyone, please continue to write. Let's now feel compassion for everyone here who had the courage to risk and share. It's easy for me to feel compassion for Jamie saying shame. So feel that compassion for others right now, and then feel it for yourself. So first feel it for someone else who had the courage to, I acknowledge every one of you. This is how you're choosing to invest your time, right? So you're choosing this path. It's not an easy path to love ourselves. So find one of these comments to feel compassion for in another, and then allow it to come, onto yourself.
It's interesting that you say that, because what comes forward for me is, when we first met, when we were first going out, it's like you said, when I completed my first solo record, you were like, don't you feel proud of yourself? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And it's like, perhaps there's people that don't know how to feel compassion for themselves.
I think that is when you talk about the undefended heart, which we both just love the name of this class.
Yeah.
I think that's it. When you think of living with an undefended heart, it needs to start with how in the heck do I really feel compassion for myself, not just in words, but to actually really feel the experience. For those of you who have taken my courses, I have a course called Learning the Language of Self-Compassion, because for me, both in my own journey, but certainly in our relationship over the 20-something years, I have found that the greatest medicine that I have found is self-compassion. I haven't found a better medicine, and I'm pretty big on forgiveness and making amends and reparations and all of that, but learning. So anybody that wants to check out my course, Self-Compassion, go check it out. It's half off right now. But really, I've done a study over my life because I was definitely one of those people that was like, I hear everybody saying, I need to love myself. I need to feel compassion for myself. What in the heck does that feel like? What does it look like? What does it sound like? What is it when I'm self-loathing? What is it when I feel like the worst mom in the world, or the worst wife in the world, or the worst friend in the world, or just the worst self in the world? Like, what is that? So for certain,
perhaps it's the idea of like the inner child. It's like if you were to view yourself from that place of looking at that little child within us,
right?
And it's like you can feel compassion for a little kid that's going through, and just perhaps view yourself as a little child, and tap into that part of yourself and just kind of hold that space. And it's like, I feel for you, I hold for you,
right?
I'll take care of you.
Right.
Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense. And, it's interesting because I think, again, one of the things, the takeaways that we really wanted everyone to take away from this class, at least, is the idea of being able to work with the messy within yourself and go from the messy inside of yourself to the light inside of yourself, because that journey, that bridge, getting from your own darkness to your own light, your own messy to your own light, your own shadow to your own oneness, that journey is the journey of self-compassion. And when you are in a relationship and you are in the messy part, the shadow part, 100%, it is an unhealed place within you. Not even 99%, 100%. When you are triggered, when you are reactive, it's something, because the only moment in reality is the present moment. And right now, everything is fine. And if we suddenly started having an argument right here in public in front of everyone, and I started to go ballistic,
which is not out of the question.
Which is not out of the question. And I started to get reactive, which is not out of the question. Then 100%, that would be something unhealed from my childhood. So what you're saying to hold that place, and I think it bears. We wanted to share a couple of just real examples from our life. So this is appropriate. So I'll share something that happened with us yesterday. And it's about getting from the messy to the light. So while you're listening, think of your own messy, because I don't want to be the only one with messy over these next 6 weeks. So yesterday morning, I went in, I asked Jamie a question. My perception was he was a little snippy to me. And then I got reactive. Don't even know if he actually was snippy or not. I just thought a little, maybe snippy is even too harsh of a word, but you just had an agenda. But anyway, and so I got really reactive. And throughout the day yesterday, and so then, I was snippy to him.
And then I got snippy back.
And then he got snippy back. But I'm only talking about me, so I'm not going to throw you under the bus. But he did get all the snippy back. So throughout the day yesterday, I want to bring this up because it was a messy moment yesterday. I was messy. So throughout the day, I know enough to know that if I'm messy, it's mine. But my ego, and yours will probably do this too, my ego was like, but he really was snippy. He really was snippy. And so I couldn't get to the place right away of compassion and what he's talking about. I couldn't take my responsibility in the dance. I couldn't at first. I was like, well, I was fixated that he was snippy. And so I sat with it during the day. It's just kind of in my consciousness through the day. I'm sitting with it. I went for a walk. I was sitting with it. And I couldn't really get to it, quite frankly. I did recognize that I was nervous and anxious and feeling a little awkward about something else that was going on with our son, but I didn't know it at the time. And so in the moment when he was, snippy, I didn't have the words to say, oh, okay, I'm feeling really anxious about X, Y, and Z. Because had I said that, oh, I'm really anxious about X, Y, and Z, he's a really open-hearted, most open-hearted person you're going to meet. He would have immediately just let me vent. But I didn't know that was going on in me, so we were snippy. So cut to, I'm sitting with it through the day, I'm sitting with it, and then I did start to realize, oh, I was anxious about this person that was coming over to our house. I was feeling uncomfortable. I was feeling really vulnerable. I had a day full of clients. I had a lot of feelings inside that I wasn't aware of. And when I started slowing it down, I became aware. And then I felt, oh my gosh, I didn't have the words to have a conscious conversation. Had I been able to do that more quickly, I would have saved us from that moment. So then cut to, it's the end of our evening and we're getting ready to sit down to prepare for this class. And first thing is, Jamie apologizes for his impatience. And right then I'm feeling, my heart open some more. And then I was able to say to him, yeah, but actually I was feeling really vulnerable and really anxious about something else. And I brought it in. And then he said to me, it felt like you were projecting your mom onto me, which I was, but I didn't realize it. But the way he said it was kind, it was with respect, it wasn't rude. And I had an epiphany, an insight, an awakening in my home. As someone else was sharing, I didn't really have a voice of authenticity. So I mistook, he was just wanting to get to the next thing of his day. It couldn't have had less to do with me. He was just going on to, A, B, C, D to complete the list of the day. I took it personally because in my family, I didn't have a voice. I didn't really, I didn't really have a space. And now sometimes when I perceive I don't have a space, I'm like, you're going to give me a space. So I say that. And so then he said, I feel like you projected your mom. And the last insight I had after that, which was so healing for me. And then the last insight, I had thought of another moment where we have a teenager, our son was a little snippy to me the same day. And I had this insight that I react to him differently. With Will, I just know, take a pause. He was kind of snippy to me. He has his friends over. They're in the middle of this film thing. I just knew, take a pause, be quiet. And I said to Jamie, I probably won't even go back to him and say anything. And if I do, it will be probably next week after his friend's gone.
Right.
So I had another insight that I've worked the muscle of taking a pause. I've worked that muscle within me much more with my son than with you. So I say all of that to say I started out messy and I got myself to the light with some help with him. So again, we want you to hear that throughout this course that we're getting ready to do, we're going to be working with material that happened every day in life. Jealousy, every day, mistrust, anger. This is what happens in relationships. And if we can't dive in and talk about that messy and learn how to get ourselves through the messy, that's the thing that's ultimately going to bring us intimacy, connection, conscious conversations, deeper connection.
And it's not only here.
Right.
It's our ability to be able to work on it here that opens up the ability to have those hard conversations outside of our relationship, because this is the deepest relationship that I think that either one of us
for sure
have.
Yeah.
And the most intimate, and our ability to be able to articulate it. And the other thing that comes forward for me in the context of the shadow coming up, it's like that's also a great opportunity to find compassion for ourselves and not judge. It's like, okay, if you can begin to witness,
Yeah.
oh, this is the shadow part of me.
Yeah.
When I was able to come back and say, you know, it kind of felt like you were projecting your mom onto me. I said it from a place of, I was at a place then of neutrality. Had I said it
in the morning,
in the morning, oh my God, we would, you know, I would have gotten my car and left, you know, I mean, it would have just imploded, and I didn't. And it wasn't because it was in my mind, it's because and as I articulated to Suze today, it's like sometimes it takes me a little time to catch up with what it is that's going on and what I need to say. And so I was able to say it later in the evening, like hours later.
Yeah.
Susie had finished her clients. We decided to sit down, and I said, before we move on into this, I just want to apologize for my part. Mm-hmm. I don't want to argue. I don't want to be in that state of conflict. And the truth of the matter is that I really wasn't angry when you first talked to me. And it's like, and then I, you know, whatever happened. But the part is, if I can become aware of how I'm responding and not go into that place of judgment and shame because those feelings come up. Because growing up, perhaps like you, I didn't know what it was. I couldn't get angry in my house.
Right.
I couldn't show anger. It's like, so I shut down so many different aspects of myself that it's like took well into my 30s and 40s. And then it's like, it just kind of came out, and it's like, where is this coming from?
But don't you think it's, sorry to interrupt you, but don't you think it's less not to go to the place of shame and more how to be with the place of shame if you go there?
Right.
Because I find like I can set all the intentions of like, I don't want to go to the place of judgment, but I'm just human, and sometimes I do.
Right.
So that's why I like to unravel the messy, you know?
But what I'm suggesting, and maybe I'm not articulating it well, is not that I won't have shame. It's getting to that place of forgiving myself and finding compassion for myself.
Right. Yeah.
When I go to those places.
I get it. Yeah.
Instead of going, right. Oh, you idiot, you got angry again, and you yelled and you snapped, and it's like that, and it's like, no, it's like, oh, what was going on? I was frightened. I was feeling judged. I wasn't feeling seen. I was feeling, I wasn't feeling seen.
Right.
I was innocently, you know, suggesting that I was, oh, well, I'm going to go take care of something. And then the other person was responding to me in a way. And it's like, wait, that's not how I'm being. And they kept telling me that's how I'm being. It's like, you know, it's like, if I can just find compassion for myself and just go, oh, that's right. That's what's going on. And it doesn't, it's not in the moment. It's gotten a lot better since we've gotten together.
Right. Of course.
Certainly.
Because we practice a lot.
Amen.
But it is true. What he's saying is true. And that is what this course is going to be about, because personal growth is already complex, right? Mm-hmm. And then add another person into the mix, whether it's a significant other, whether it's a child, whether it is a girlfriend, you know, it could be a colleague. So really adding a second person or third person into the mix exponentially makes it more complex. And so learning how to unravel and untangle what the messy and the shadow and create a connected relationship where you feel very compassionate with the messy places inside, with the darker places inside, with the unhealed places, with your anger, with your rage, with your jealousy, with whatever it is that is coming up, is the golden key. So now with that, so we've talked a lot about messy. Now with that, the other thing, as remember, as I said at the beginning of the class, a healthy relationship has to do with the ratio of dark and unhealed material and how you are with it, and the light. So the light are spiritual qualities. The light are qualities of well-being. Those are things like conscious conversations. Those are things like gratitude, a feeling of connection, a feeling of oneness, acceptance, appreciation, acknowledgement, forgiveness, amends, coming back together, repairs. What are other? Abundance, being able to move into solution consciousness, not staying in lack, but learning how to be in abundance and find solutions that work for everyone. Those are the other side of relationship. So we want to just touch upon that. We'll be touching upon it much more in the 6 weeks. But
you want to post the link to
oh yeah, so here's the link to the course. Up, press record. Jackie, if you are on, will you mind putting the link for the course? It's called The Undefended Heart. And just as a quick aside, remind me we're going into light, gratitudes. Mm-hmm. Okay. Just as a quick aside, because of COVID and many people aren't working, if you haven't been financially affected, great. We have a suggested price for the class and it's half off if you do it tonight. But we're also doing it just by donation. So if you have been affected by COVID, we really feel that relationships are being strained right now. They're all being strained right now. There's a lot of tension. And so we wanted to offer this. And if you need or want or desire to just make a donation or have it gifted to you, we want it to be available to everyone. So I just want to read quickly some of the different themes so that you can get an idea of if this is a fit for you. So some of the themes that we're going to be covering, it's a 6-week course. So we're going to take a deep dive. Everything from safety, support, how to have conscious conversations, authenticity. People were sharing authenticity, vulnerability, empathy, transparency, working with judgments, shame, blame, protection, armor, how to clean up your side of the street, asking for what you need in a relationship. Many people are not taught this. The difference between wants, needs, asking for what you need, conflict resolution, forgiveness, amends, creating teamwork, knowing that you're better together, being in solution consciousness. And then what we're going to dive into now, vision, values, appreciation, acknowledgements, gratitudes, fun, humor. One of my best friends is on here, and if I did not have her humor, well, I don't have hers, but if her humor wasn't part of our relationship, I mean, we have such a great relationship because of that humor. That's what I'm trying to say. So we're going to be working with the values that you want to bring in your relationship. And do you even have a high vision of your relationship? Do you even have a high vision of your relationship with yourself and your relationship with whomever you're working with? So do you want to talk a little bit about values like acknowledgements and gratitudes? Do you want to scooch up?
I'm good.
I just feel like I'm like turning my face away from
than
there.
Me, so it's like I'm
turning my face away.
I think that William's chair is a lot higher too.
Oh, okay.
Some of the things that I've learned over the years, I used to do music for teen camps. And one of the things I brought home from the teen camps is we would do these walks of intention on a daily basis. And it's one of the things Suzi and I started doing when we moved here to Lake Balboa in Southern California, because we have this great park. I mean, every time that we walk that park and we're doing gratitudes and acknowledgements, we always just give thanks for this park that we have to walk around. It's so beautiful. But that walk, we used to walk for 15 minutes in silence. And then we would move into gratitudes for whatever in our life and acknowledgements of one another. Such a powerful tool. Appreciations.
And we just set intentions for the day.
Setting intentions, and being able to share that with one another has been so powerful. I have ADD, so it's really hard for me to. Suzi's very type A and I'm very ADD. So I'm like, squirrel,
Yeah, whoever was talking about their intention around two different temperaments.
Yeah.
This is where we come in.
Very different temperaments. And we talked about it this morning, the fact that, we have these two different temperaments, but they're not the only two temperaments. And a lot of stuff that we've gone through in our relationship, other people may not have been able to handle. The man or the woman might not have been able to handle that, but we have found a way for us to be with it, the things that we've gone through. Like I say, prior to this relationship, I would have said, I'm out of here, and just left. And I haven't, and Suze hasn't, and we've stayed here, and we have found tools. I'm the early morning guy with the discussion this morning, but most mornings I'm up and I make celery juice for Susan. I bring her celery juice, and then I bring her latte, and I make her shakes during the day, or a salad during the afternoon. I make dinner. I'm the cook around the house. I do a lot of those kinds of things.
I'm the lucky one around the house.
Yeah, and I, it's also what I thrive in, but the importance of us having that time to go through this, and there's other things that we're still working on, having the discussions with about various things that we're working on, and I'm committed to it. Susan's committed to it. The bottom line is that we're here for the long haul, and it's not like it's a long haul. It's like we want to continue to grow and expand and unfold. And I think if we find that we're not continuing to grow and expand and unfold together, it's like, we also have to look at that.
Right.
And lovingly
right. That's
say,
the other thing we want to share here so deeply, is that a relationship is here until you're complete with that relationship. Yeah. So there's, again, we could talk about all the cultural fantasies that you should not get divorced. Certainly we've talked about getting divorced and separated over the years. And I've always said I didn't want to stay married because I was afraid of getting separated. So hats off to people who have completed a certain amount of time together and choose that they're complete, they're done, they're moving. So there's again, we're just using our relationship as an example, but this has nothing really to do with our relationship. It's just an example. But I did want to quickly go back before we close out to this idea of the light and the practices in your own life that are going to add value and add quality into both your inner relationship and whatever relationships you're in. So going back to, we do take these walks. So, but it's not only on our walks, we'll have like these big, Jamie will make like these big poster papers and put them on the wall, and it'll just say gratitude. And when we're walking by, we'll just write what we're grateful for, any one of us, or, appreciations, acknowledgments of each other. We'll do it at the dinner table when our family's eating together. I mean, we just find different ways to make gratitude, appreciation, acknowledgement part of the vernacular, part of the articulation, part of the fabric of our relationship. And that is the same whether it's a friendship, a colleague, with our son, who I said is a teenager. Ever since he's little, and especially now that he's a teenager, I rarely text him without finding something to appreciate him for. And sometimes I really have to hunt, but that's on me to hunt for. That's on me to hunt for, because there is something to acknowledge him for and appreciate him for. And so it's a very high spiritual practice, I'll call it, that we're committed to. And the payoff is like a savings account that has very high dividends. Mm-hmm. The payoff, because we interweave it into the fabric of our relationship, then when we have mornings like yesterday, which we will continue to have, we have this savings account. Mm-hmm. And I think probably the same. I mean, I think pretty much when we text each other, we're always acknowledging and appreciating each other. But certainly I do it with my teenager, and I've done it for years and years and years with him. And anyone that knows our relationship, we have a relationship that shows, and we have messy in our relationship. God knows our son is a teenager. And right now he's pushing my buttons because he's out filming tonight, and he probably won't be home until 5 in the morning. And that is pushing my buttons. He's a teenager, he's pushing my envelope. So it isn't like I don't have things, but the point being, it's the spiritual practice of gratitude, appreciation, acknowledgement. And I don't mean just words and airy-fairy.
Not platitudes.
I'm not talking platitudes. I'm not talking affirmations that sound really good. I'm seriously saying, and this week, so I'm going to move into some assignments. Whether you take our course or not, you have some assignments, okay? First assignment, go back and rewatch this class again. Watch it at some point this week. Watch it again for yourself. Find some intentions for yourself. Move through your own messy. Set some intentions for moving through your messy. And now begin to ask yourself, what would it be like? And maybe for some of you, it already is, but what would it be like if you had a daily spiritual practice of acknowledging yourself and truly appreciating yourself? Someone, I think it was Shayna, who was saying, about her nervousness of making a mistake, right? And what if she acknowledged herself every day? Oh, it's okay to make mistakes. Oh, I saw that you made that little mistake the other day. It's just fine. What if whatever it is that were your intentions, your unhealed places, you really took it on this week and you became a student of your own life and you decided, I'm going to find appreciation. If you have a stern critic in you, if you are very hard on yourself, if you are very judgmental of yourself, that very place needs your softness. It needs your acknowledgement. It needs your appreciation. If you took this on this week, every day, pretty much every day in my journal, I find at least 10 things to appreciate or feel grateful for about myself or my life. So it's in the fabric of my own relationship with myself, and then it overflows into any relationship. I hope for my girlfriends who are watching, I hope my girlfriends feel very appreciated by me. I hope they feel very acknowledged by me. I try to include it in all conversations, even especially the messy ones, even because it's easy to be grateful when everything's going well. But can you, with a girlfriend, let's say I had a messy conversation, then I would say, I'm so grateful that we could have this messy conversation. Even on Facebook, some of the messier conversations around Black Lives Matter, I'm saying to people, I'm so grateful we can have the harder conversations. That opens the door to higher consciousness, to awakening, to enlightenment, to conscious conversations. So as you're leaving, Jamie's going to sing. Just set that intention for yourself and just say on here, Christina's saying, I feel like this is so hard to do. It is so hard to do. It isn't easy. We are barraged with a culture that it's a consumer culture, and it wants you to feel crappy about yourself. I'm just telling you right now, because when you feel crappy about yourself, you'll go buy something. You'll go buy some new lipstick. You'll go buy some new clothes. You'll invest in something. The culture wants you not to feel good about yourself. It wants you to not feel empowered. So if it's hard for you, please join us on these next 6 weeks, because every week we're going to be doing it. And I have clients right now that I have them text me every single day, 10 things that they acknowledge about themselves, because it isn't easy, as Christina's saying. So join us on the 6-week journey, and we're going to be incorporating it every week until it becomes a way of life. And like I said, until it starts off as a mental exercise sometimes. And through the 6 weeks, it's going to deepen into a way of life. You were going to say something? Join us on the 6-week class.
Yeah, I think that we invite you, and like Sue said, we're doing this by donation. There's a suggested donation for those of you that have the means. We'd love you to participate. And for those of you that just, you need something and, you know, donate what you can. Maybe you donate something every week, little something every week. And maybe you get to the suggested donation, whatever it is. But the bottom line is we want people to participate in this workshop, because we know that on the other side of it, there's definitely transformation.
Yes,
there's absolutely transformation.
Sorry to interrupt you. Someone's asking a question. Class will be at this same time for the next 6 weeks, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. We have people from all around the world here. So we'll also receive a replay every single week. And as well, we have a private Facebook page. So in between, you can ask questions, you can receive coaching, you can receive support. The Facebook pages are really amazing. They're very deep. And as well, and I will do this with this class tonight as well, but as well, you will receive a PDF every week with journaling prompts, with assignments, with just the notes from the class, and mostly journaling prompts to assist you to really have a deeper experience. So this is a lot of information getting tossed your way. That's why I say, please, please go back and listen to it again, watch it again, take out your journal, take your own notes, find some bullet points, find one thing that you're gonna practice, because it's really between now and 7 weeks. So that's almost 2 months, right? Is that right? 7 weeks?
Almost,
yes,
yes.
2 months. So that's a good amount of time to significantly transform your own inner relationship and significantly transform any relationship in your life that you are interested in deepening and creating more authenticity, more transparency, more real connection with. So I'm going to put the link one more time, and yeah, you will receive the Facebook link once you join. You can join tonight for half off if you're doing the suggested price. You can join tonight with $1 donation, $100, whatever is yours to do, and then each week you could donate. But mostly, once you do register, you'll go right on to the Facebook page. So I think.
Do you want to look through? Was there any questions or anything?
Yeah, are there any questions? And then Jamie will sing us out. Any questions, or if you want to write anything that you're willing to take with you and practice until we come back together next Wednesday, like what is calling you from this class? What is it that you are willing to take with you? And that would be a great way to speak your own word, take your own responsibility that you're gonna dive deep. Let me just answer this question, sorry. So Jackie is showing everyone that on the sales page, there's only 2 options. You can do the suggested price, it's $295, but if you do it in the next 24 hours, it's whatever half of that is. I think it's like $150. Or you press the donation button. And if you press the donation, it will take you to register. So you just press whichever one you're choosing. Okay, now go. And you guys are writing what you're leaving with. Thank you all for being here so much.
Thank you.
We hope to see you on the 6-week journey.
Walk a mile or a
To be
minute
vulnerable.
in another man's shoes. He's got a path to take to find his truth. Anyway you spin it, he's a lot like you. Finding his faith on roads that you never choose. Keep on walking. Keep on walking.
Leaving with hope and guidance.
Don't let it cloud your vision. Love be your only mission. Always. Let go of the old conditions. Let love be your only mission. Always. keep on walking.
Willing to be vulnerable, love and light.
Walking.
Thank you, Dad.
Tell a tale, you're in it. Hear a brother man's blues. Got a destination now and no excuse.
Loving the
Why
mess.
do you condemn it when it's not your own?
Great.
You can't unsee it once the light has shone. Keep on walking.
Loving the mess.
Keep on walking. Don't let it cloud your vision. Love be your only mission. Always. Let go of the old condition. Let love be your only mission. Always. Keep on walking.
Julia said, thank you, lovies. She's signing up now.
Keep on
I'm so
walking.
Being courageous to staying in the mess.
One foot in front of the other, hand in hand, one with another. Walk with your sister and brother, always. One foot in front of the other, hand in hand, one with another. Walk with your sister and brother, always. One foot in front of the other, hand in hand, one with another. Walk with your sister and brother, always. Don't let it cloud your vision. Love be your only mission, always. Let go of the old condition. Let love be your only mission, always. Don't let it cloud your vision. Love be your only mission, always. Let go of the old condition. Let love be your only mission, always. Keep on walking. Keep on walking. Keep on walking. Keep on walking.
All right, you guys, keep walking till next Wednesday night. Use the code half off if you're doing the suggested price, half off at the end. Use that code HALFOFF. And you're welcome, everyone. I'm looking forward to being with you guys.
I hope that you join us.
Yeah, join us.
And if you've got friends that you think might benefit, whether they're married, whether they're single, whether they're divorced, whatever it is, we'd love to have them, because I think that we could all use some tools in relationship right now, especially when we're in such close proximity. And
and for those people who are going through COVID, quarantined alone, also it can be very lonely. So join us. We will be sending out this replay, so everyone will get the replay. Please do your homework, watch it again, don't wait until next week to start the course. Let this course start now. Write in your journal, set your intentions, work through your messy, stay in the messy. And I think we already have a bunch of people who are like in with us on the messy, so that's good.
Be okay with the messy.
Be okay with the messy.
Embrace your inner messy.
Embrace your inner messy. Embrace your inner messy. All right, everyone, much love. You'll be getting the replay, and we will see you next Wednesday.
High Five Productions. Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings. We'll see you next week. All right. Bye, everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Embrace your inner messy. Love it. Love it. Excellent. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Sam. I hope you take the course, Sam. I want you to move through your jealousy. And yeah, that was vulnerable. And thank you very much. Hope you stay. Mari, hi. Welcome. I'm so happy that you're here. I hope you will also join us. Julia's signing up. Julia's going to be with us. Julia, she was my friend with the best sense of humor. What would we do without Julia's sense of humor? All right, everyone. See you next Wednesday.
Peace.